Went down to the creek bed to check out on how things had been going since we seeded the fall food plots 2 weeks ago. We used primarily oats with a blend of clover and some brassica and a small amount of wheat. We were hopeful that we'd get a little bit of germination with the rain coming up from Hurricane Ida. We managed to get a few days of some rain. However, it wasn't quite as much as I had been hoping that we would get. Even though we didn't get as much rain as I wanted, we still did get some germination, and some of the oats and some of the brassica as well as the clover is coming up. Most of the green up is from the existing grass as well as the clover that has survived after we treated it. When you look at some of the bare areas, however, most of the new seedlings are clover as well as some of the brassica, with a few sprigs of the oats and some of the wheat coming up. We put the drone up in the air so that we could get a little bit change in the view of how the field looked. We weren't sure how much of the green up might be affected by our perspective from being down on the ground. We did have a little bit of issue when we first put the drone up, since the wind was not exactly cooperative and wanted to throw the drone around a little bit extra. We did manage to negotiate through the field, and you can see that as we got a little bit higher, things looked a lot browner. The area to the south looked a little bit greener, and that's from the shade that was from the trees that line the creek. The area on the north side of the field, however, pretty much dried out. We could have used a lot more rain. Tried to go up a little bit higher, and you might notice the wind was whipping a little bit through the trees. We were able to negotiate the wind for the most part to get a little bit higher view, and you can see that the creek field itself looks a lot browner than what it did from the ground level. I suspect that a lot of the oats didn't germinate, not only because of the rain, but also because of the turkeys that frequent this field. We did have the help of a bobcat who was patrolling the creek field, at least on the 3rd. Unfortunately, he wasn't there on subsequent days, and the turkeys seemed to thrive on whatever seed they could kick up out of the dirt. We moved on up to the platform plots to check out and see how things had gone up there. In a pretty much similar scenario, a lot of the field was pretty much brown and dried up. This area gets a lot more sun than half of the creek field, so that wasn't really too unexpected. As we were swinging around the northern tip of the food plot, the bare ground got to be a lot more since we had killed a lot more weeds in this area. It was a little bit encouraging, though, that we were able to see some little seedlings of the oats as well as some tiny leaves of clover and a few of the brassica. We still have some additional time to reseed if we need to, but what we really need is some rain to get this greened up.